So this is a very special Easter edition, hence the adorable bunny ears, courtesy of my beautiful bunny. Once again, joining me, my beautiful, amazing, and brilliant girlfriend, Rebecca.
Hey, don't oversell me here, okay?
I will. Why? Who am I selling you to? I mean, I don't care if they believe it or not. I'm the one who's. So this is going to be interesting because for the first time we've kind of stumbled upon a movie that is a little bit more divisive than anything we've reviewed together before. In the past, we both kind of liked the movies we've reviewed. Just
Right.
You know,
There may be points that we disagree on.
yeah, but overall the film is. So this is one of those movies I really do qualify it as the poor girlfriend being dragged to it, just out of the goodness of your heart and wanting to spend time together watching Godzilla versus Kong. Before we get into it, I can see she is itching. She's itching to get into this. Brief history for those who don't recall. So this is, I guess, this is the Avengers of this Kong Godzilla universe that they've been slapdashing together, starting with the Godzilla back in 2000 something, which was boring and unwatchable.
Is that the Matthew Broderick one?
No, you're like two Godzilla movies behind.
Okay, so that one was in the 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, this one starred Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver as a married couple, like immediately before they played brother and sister.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Like the two, like this one and Age of Ultron came out the same year, and like
Elizabeth Olsen
and whoever the guy who played him in the Age of Ultron was. Yeah, they were married in that one. And that one was dull, just unbelievably boring, and yeah. And then they did Kong Skull Island, which I actually really enjoyed, not the Jack Black one, which you thought.
Yeah.
She actually has kids, so she can't go to the movies. She has real responsibilities as opposed to me. It's like...
That's the reason.
Yeah, you actually have responsibilities. And taste.
No, they keep making these movies, and they have for what, 100 years at this point?
Well, since the original Kong, 1930 something, yeah.
So obviously there's a market for it. Obviously there are people who enjoy this milieu.
So anyway, they did Kong Skull Island, which was one of my top 10 films of that year. I think that was either the first or second years I was doing drive home reviews. And I really liked that one. That one was fun. It was energetic. It didn't take itself too seriously. And then they did Godzilla King of the Monsters, which admittingly a step up from the previous Godzilla film, but still boring, more interested in the humans than it was in the monster fights. It dragged. It was a slight improvement, and so now it culminates with this one.
Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so you said who was in Kong Skull Island that's also in this one?
Nobody. Yeah, I don't think.
So these are new characters.
Yeah, because Kong Skull Island took place in the 70s at the tail end of Vietnam.
So we don't know why, like, this specific scientist is there.
No, I guess she's just there to study Kong. Kind of like what is it, Jane Goodall?
Yeah, okay. That's what she was. Like,
yeah, she was a very Jane Goodall type.
Yeah.
So yes,
But there were a crossover with the last Godzilla movie.
Yeah, because they had the coach of the Dillon Panthers,
Kyle Chandler,
and 11.
Millie Bobby Brown.
There you go. So they were in the last one, which was awful, and now they're back in this one with a reduced presence. I can't say I'm sorry about that.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're the only ones from any of the previous
So
films.
was her little buddy in the previous one?
No, you mean her court-appointed, sarcastic nerd friend that you have to have tail along in all of these movies? No, he wasn't in that one.
But I really like that actor.
You do?
Yeah, he was in the Santa Chronicles 2.
Was he?
Yes. And something else. Was that Hunt for the Wilder People? But he's a New Zealand actor who, like, I like to see popping up more and stuff because he's just kind of, you know, off the wall, a little bit quirky, a little bit crazy, a little offset. I like him. So, anyways, so there's crossover between there, and so there's some backstory there that we didn't really get into because you were supposed to already know what was going on.
Yeah. Basically, monsters exist. Bad ones are there. Godzilla has been fighting off the bad ones. The Monarch is supposed to be kind of like the shield of this universe that, like, links all the movies together. This Apex, I guess, are the new evil co.
It's like what's the one in Terminator?
Skynet.
Skynet.
Yes.
Yeah, they're very Skynet.
Yeah. So anyway, basic plot. There's Kong and there's Godzilla and they're fighting.
Right.
That's pretty much. I mean, there's other stuff about conspiracy and the evil corporation, which is obviously evil, but
yes.
with their CEO Juan Evil.
They're trying. Well, at least, you know, diversity.
Yeah.
It's not just Joe Evil. It's Juan Evil.
That's true.
But
it's usually Bob Evil, actually.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
They're on this like energy surge, and that part I thought was fairly interesting. That, you know, they're on this search for energy, and so they're trying to get to Hollow Earth. One thing about it, though, I have to say. Well, are you ready to get into the actual nuts and bolts here?
I mean, I'll let you go ahead first.
Okay. I have to appreciate the sincerity and gravity to which they give all of these completely ridiculous YouTube conspiracy theory aspects, science fiction aspects, about there being a whole monster lands with energy balls in the center of the earth.
Yeah.
You can access it through Antarctica. But they say it all with such conviction and sincerity, and I mean, I gotta give them props for that.
You know, that is actually something I really liked about this one, especially in comparison to the two Godzilla movies. Because if you can't tell from my little recap there, as far as I'm concerned, this franchise is 1 and 2. Kong was good. The two Godzilla films sucked, so it did not have a lot of... And I think the problem that I had with the two Godzilla films is that they took themselves so fucking seriously. Like Zack Snyder serious. You know,
that's serious.
Yeah, and they took themselves so. And I grew up on goofy rubber guy in a rubber suit Godzilla.
Yeah.
You know, the over serious Godzilla that was the very first one, and then some of the ones they did in the later 90s and 2000s. I had no use for. I like my Godzilla movies goofy and just stupid as hell. You know? And I really appreciate, like you said, that they're just like, yeah, Hollow Earth, we're going for it. This one had no pretense towards, you know, towards family melodrama or, you know...
There was some good human interaction. I mean, I enjoyed the whole thing with Rebecca Hall as the Jane Goodall character and her little adopted charge. And
yeah.
And it's like, I enjoyed that. And they're like communicating with Kong. Like, I would have watched a whole movie about that.
Yeah.
So maybe I just like Kong and not Godzilla.
Well, and I think that's another thing that they did. They made a smart decision on. And that's another thing I really didn't like about the other two Godzilla movies is Godzilla had no personality.
Yeah.
He had absolutely no personality. And again, say what you want about the rubber suit days, that Godzilla had personality. The goofiness of the face, the little things he'd do. You know, there was a character there, even though he never talked.
Right.
You know, and I think they made the smart decision of saying, okay, Godzilla is not that interesting.
No.
Push him to the side, make him kind of the antagonist.
He just seems like honestly, like, he's like a single-celled mind.
Yeah.
That is just, like, driven to just attack the other Titans.
Yeah, exactly.
And that humans could use that to their benefit, but not because he had any kind of connection with them, just because, like, it's like if there is a gun that's stuck on automatic shooting, and if you point it in the right direction, it'll be useful.
Exactly, yeah. And so I think they made the smart decision of saying Kong has more personality. I mean, the movie opens with Kong waking up and going for a walk and scratching his ass.
Taking a bath.
Yeah.
Doing a whole herbal essences head shake.
So I think that, like, putting the focus on Kong, who has a personality and is relatable.
And an intelligence level. Because what you find out early on is that they're holding him in this facility, and where it looks like it's natural, it's not.
Yeah.
And he understands that, and he understands how to express his displeasure with them.
Yeah, and like I say, you see the problem solving.
Right.
You know, which is true in apes and, you know, gorillas and great apes is that problem solving ability.
Right.
You know, and you see him, and like you say, the emotional connection he forges with the little deaf girl.
Yes.
That he learns to sign language with.
Yes.
You know, I think it was a smart move, and yeah, I like that the humans served the purpose that a human character in a monster movie like this is supposed to serve. Keep the plot moving somewhat along until the next monster fight. You know, that's their purpose. Go in, keep things moving. I don't care about what's going on with you.
Right.
Just keep things going until it's time for the monsters to fight again.
Talk to me about Bernie, the conspiracy theorist. Where do you land with him?
Where do I land with him? The whole subplot with him and Eleven and court-ordered sidekick, that was the duller part of the movie for me.
So I didn't find him dull. Okay, I found him as a character kind of endearing. He's trying to work to try to uncover this. He's doing what he can. He's bumbling his way through it. Absolutely bumbling his way through it, but somehow managing to find stuff. The thing that I don't like is that it gives credence to this whole idea that everyone is out to get you. Mm-hmm. There's always something that people are hiding, and that conspiracy theorists actually, you know, there's a reason why, you know, they're paranoid because somebody is actually after them. I think that we're at a point right now in human history where we don't need to back up a conspiracy theorist.
You know, I think that's actually a really good point, because the minute you started saying that, like, the gut reaction I was about to have was to argue and go, no, you know, that's kind of a trope in these movies. The conspiracy theorist is always right and that kind of thing. But I think you're right. I think where we're at in history, I think we're at a point where we don't need to lend any more credence to
I have to
idiots.
Continue every year to tell my middle school social studies students that the Earth is not flat because they saw something on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, no, we don't need to allow, like,
yeah.
We need to give more hype to be like, oh yeah, there's a reason they're conspiracy theorists, because they're actually right.
Yeah,
now, do
exactly.
I think that sneaky stuff goes on? Yes, absolutely. Do I think you're going to uncover the sneaky stuff by being a kook on a blog? Probably not.
But yeah, that's actually a really good point. I think it may be time to, if not retire that character,
just
it may be time to retool him a little bit. I also find, like I say, I found that in a way, it's kind of a harken back to, again, classic Godzilla or classic kaiju monsters, because there's always little kids who can do things that adults couldn't. You know, the Gamera series is famous for that.
Yeah.
But I continue to find it amusing that you have Evil Co., which has the technology to fucking build a Mecha Godzilla, but doesn't have child-proof locks on anything.
I know, they just got in
there. Yeah. They're just like, hi, and they got really deep.
Yeah, no one is bothering to guard this building at all.
Yeah.
Like, no.
So yeah, I kind of was able to shrug that off. It's very par for the course for movies like this. But you are like,
with the whole Mecha Godzilla thing, that was very let's steal this from Pacific Rim kind of.
Well,
and which Pacific Rim kind of stole it a little bit from which like Aliens, the second one.
Yeah.
So,
well, now here's where I got to be a nerd. Sorry.
Oh Lord.
Sorry, honey.
Okay.
Actually, I hate being a nerd and having to start any sentence with that.
Actually.
Mecha Godzilla is a part of the Godzilla franchise going all the way back to the 70s.
Okay, so Pacific Rim stole that from
Technically, Pacific Rim kind of stole Mecha Godzilla. Because if I'm remembering my Godzilla movies correctly, I think that was like one of the first times Godzilla, Rodan, and Mothra actually all teamed up was to fight Mecha Godzilla. Oh no, that was Monsters. Anyway, but he's been a part of the franchise.
Okay.
There's even a Mecha Kong. Yeah. So.
Let's talk about Hollow Earth.
Okay.
I think Hollow Earth kind of fell squarely into the Uncanny Valley. I think it did not look realistic, but it didn't look cheesy enough to not be realistic. And honestly, the whole which way is up, upside down, let's continue keep falling, I don't know where I'm at thing just makes me nauseated.
Imagine if we saw that in 3D.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
I would have been like, I would have had to leave
I'm with you.
The theater. Because that is not like, and here's the thing. You get an overabundance of it. Like, I think it was pretty. I think the monsters were kind of cool. But when it's just coming at you all over the place. Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. And it's just continuous nonstop. Then it's just like, okay, that's too much.
It's too much to process.
Yes.
So I understand, especially with these mecha franchises where you're trying to build and build and build and build, that, it's kind of their, here's this big thing you've been waiting to see or whatever. But honestly, I don't like the whole Hollow Earth aspect. Again, I don't like a lot of aspects of these movies. I liked it like, look, there's an island. It's got monsters on it.
Right.
That's all you fucking need.
It makes sense that it's a nuclear testing plant.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that originally what the whole story
in the original
was?
Godzilla, yeah.
Yes, like that. Duh. Yeah, that happens in real life. Let's go with that.
Or just I don't even need that explanation, especially for Kong. It was always just, here's an island, there's a big monkey on it. There you go, done. And dinosaurs, because why the fuck not? I don't need the whole underground fall, blah 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 blah.
Yeah. It was, I think, an excuse to have Alexander Skarsgård act like a nerd for a little bit.
Yeah. Which I liked. I liked that group of humans.
I don't think that he took his shirt off once.
No, he didn't take his shirt off once.
It must have been really hard for him to act.
It must have been.
So,
or his pants. He stayed completely clothed.
I don't know how he managed to do it.
I mean, it's quite a feat. Good on him. Showed a new range.
Clothed acting.
It's like, it's brilliant. They told me on HBO this is how you had to act all the time.
Not that I have any problem ever with him taking his clothes off.
If I had a body like that, I'd be taking my clothes off a lot more too. To be completely honest. So no shame on you, buddy. If you got it, flaunt it, I say. Okay, but we're burying the lead here because, of course, we got to talk about the movie's thesis, the overarching statement of the Godzilla versus the Kong.
I couldn't tell you what it is for a minute because look, this is you want to talk about the actual conflict in monster movies for me. You got man versus man versus self.
Nature,
Man. The actual conflict when it comes to a monster movie for me is sleep versus movie. And in reality, when it comes down to it, am I going to enjoy napping more than I enjoy this action sequence? And I did. I enjoyed napping through the action sequences much more than I enjoyed actually watching them. So, yeah.
Mecha versus sleep. That's or sleep versus movie. I like that. make sure I bring that up in my playwriting class. It's another. So you are squarely in the didn't give a shit.
Right, like I couldn't.
Squarely in the didn't give a shit.
I could not care enough to stay awake during the action sequences. I couldn't. Yeah. Like the early on parts of it where we were learning about the characters and the storyline and all that, sure. As soon as we just got into fight, I was out. So, alright. But so you continue on.
Okay, well I'll take it. So I am going to say that I think the film delivered on its promise. And I know that doesn't sound like a big deal, but once again, I have to point out that the history of these movies, especially the Godzilla ones, have been the monsters are about to fight. Quick, cut away to the humans. Whatever you do, don't show the giant monster fight. That's been their fucking mantra. The directors saw Jaws one too many times and went, no, showing them the thing makes it boring. You know, so whatever you do, don't show the two giant monsters fighting. Which,
in like a suspense movie or like a scary movie, I would agree with that. Showing the monster decreases the monster. In the Babadook, I feel like if they would have not shown the Babadook, then I would have been terrified. But in something like this, I mean, you go into a monster movie, you want I gotta say, even with not liking the fight sequences enough to stay awake, watching Kong punch, like straight up punch Godzilla in the face was pretty cool.
Yeah, and like I say, they delivered. Yeah. They kept the action on the monsters. The action was pretty good, pretty well staged. I thought it delivered on its promise. I had flashbacks of Freddy versus Jason. You know, which is a stupid ass movie, but the end fight scene is fun. It's everything it promised. So what I like, I'm getting a little too subtextual here, but I like that they did kind of have the two characters fight differently, not just because one's an ape and one's a giant lizard, but one is pure brute strength and one is an ape.
Right.
With problem-solving capabilities. So you saw him like working things out. When this didn't work, when the two of them team up at the end to fight Mecha Godzilla, I was like, all right. I don't know if I was in the movie theater, if I would have been one of the sheep that just kind of cheers, yay! I don't know if I would have done that like I did for like Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
But I will say I would have gone, okay then. I would have given it a head nod of approval. I might have applauded a little bit there at certain parts that I seen this in the theater. I think it when I say it delivered on its promises, it was still fun. It was a fun. It was a little overlong for me.
Yeah.
I think it needed a little editing.
I don't know. I could have used about 10 more minutes of sleep, so.
So you want the fight scenes to go a little longer? I would have liked if they'd cut some things down. If they,
Right. Well, even just like the stuff that I woke up for was like, okay, you're fighting another one. You're fighting another one. Like, I mean, yeah.
But I had a good time with it. Again, a little overlong. Could have used a little trim through the editor, cut out some of the unnecessaries, and kept the action flowing a little faster.
Right.
But all in all, I was pretty satisfied with it, which I'm very happy to say, especially again given this series' track record.
Yeah.
There was a 1 in 2 chance it was going to come out. Come out shit. So yeah. Okay, so this will be interesting. Kind of like grading the 45th term paper in a row after you stopped reading like as carefully because you're 45 in and you have 50 more to go, or is that just me?
You're like, okay, well,
it's
maybe
close enough.
Experiment that.
Yeah, close enough. So what is your final grade for Godzilla versus Kong?
Oh Lord. Okay.
Incomplete.
Well, like the special effects. I think, like you said, when you come into something like this, you either need to go super fakey, or you need to like make it as realistic as possible. And I think they fell into that just shy of that. So, and this is hard for me because I love everything. Like, I generally will not give anything a bad grade, but I'm gonna say a C-.
C- on this one for you?
Yeah, just like, honestly, if I fall asleep during it, I can't give you more than a C.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, so C-. For you. I had a good time. I thought it ran a little long, but I feel like it's a step up and a step in the right direction. I don't know if they're planning more of these.
I feel like you're going to get at least more of the Rebecca Hall, Alexander Skarsgård storyline.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Maybe even a prequel.
Maybe. Yeah, that's possible.
Because it felt like there was a lot of story.
Yeah, it did feel like there was a lot of stuff that happened in between Vietnam and right now.
Yeah.
That they did not cover, so I don't know. But on the whole, will I watch it again? Yeah, I'll watch it again in the same way I watch, like I say, Pacific Rim Uprising. It's not as good as Pacific Rim. It's not as good as Kong Skull Island, but it's a passable action film, and it has some fun parts in it. So I think I'm gonna go a little higher than you on mine. I'm gonna go a solid B. On mine. Solid B.
And for the record, I would watch again because I'd take any chance to take a nap on you while you watch something.
Oh. So see, high praise. So I'm going solid B. So there you have it. So thank you for joining us for our Easter edition and perfect timing. We're right at the gas station. Wow, that worked out well. So thank you for joining us. There's always more to come. Things are opening back up. I'm vaccinated. Who knows what's going to happen? Vaccinations! Yay! So yes, thank you for being here, my love.
Thanks for inviting me.
And adding another voice to this, which I think is wonderful. And so thank you all. And as always, drive safe, and I will see you at the movies.